Dana, admitted to melancholy feelings. He said that he never felt he was that good. He said it wasn't an act. He always believed that. He went on and, of course, defended his guys. And then he said very specifically, I am not interested. I'm not about to sign guys who lose in strike force.
He was on yesterday with the guys in the afternoon on Gridlock, and he basically said the same thing, emphatically said, no, he wasn't interested. When you talked to him in the past, though, he did have plans that potentially could have been pretty big, right? I mean, it wasn't like he had to be a little disappointed. He lost a potential cash cow, and if they ever get him, now there's a little more work to do.
Well, the last time they had a chance to get him before, so it would have been, July 30th last summer when he signed with, when Fedor signed with Strikeforce, and I remember that because that was my jury duty day. So, and I got off the jury and out of the courthouse and onto a UFC conference call. But that was the day that they announced that Tito was coming back, and also that Fedor had signed with Strikeforce. And he was asked about it then, and what he had told me at the time was his plan was to put Fedor and Lesnar in the main event at Cowboy Stadium. So that would have been a huge event down there. I know they would have really promoted the heck out of that and made that a big event, and it looks like that'll never happen. In this sport, you never say never, but it doesn't look good right now.
Yeah, so don't tell me the smiley face that he sent out on Twitter on Saturday night was his only feeling about the fight. There was a little disappointment. He is a promoter.
Well, yeah, I think there was. As I said, I talked to him both Saturday night and then Sunday after the fight, both days. And, in both days, he said the biggest thing he felt was relief that he wouldn't be asked a question anymore, because it became a joke among those of us who are regulars at UFC press conferences where, every press conference there was a UFC Fedor question. I think the two questions that got asked all the time were, where are you going to next? And what are you doing about Fedor? And so, he said, and this was in the seconds after the fight, he had said to me then that, hey, I feel good because it's relief now that I'm not going to be bombarded with this question about what we're going to do about Fedor, because we're not going to sign him. But he did admit some disappointment, because it was a big, big fight. Before Fedor lost to Verdum, you put him in there with the UFC heavyweight champion, who at that time was Brock Lesnar, and still is Brock Lesnar, mega event. a huge, I think it would have had a chance to break their all-time pay-per-view record, which is $1.7 million.